Hi guys, I'm Blake Cielo with CBM Woodworking, and today we're going to be making a chopping board. Recently I just picked up some floorboard offcuts from work. They're a bit dirty and I've scraped them off a little bit, but I'm hoping that it comes off with a bit of planing and a bit of sanding. This was the pattern they were laid out in on the actual floor, and I'm hoping to resemble that sort of a pattern with the chopping board. Obviously not as large, might cut them in half. We should get something that looks a little bit like this one here that I've drawn on the paper, hopefully. Alright, let's get into it.
So because these boards had ridges on the bottom of them, I had to remove those ridges to get the boards flat, and at the time I didn't have a thickness planer, which would have made this a lot safer and easier. So doing it on the table saw was the only way I saw how. Obviously it's not a safe cut, really. It's not an easy cut either. I was very cautious when I was doing it, but it was the only way I knew how to do it, so that's what I did.
Alright guys, so I was actually having a bit of trouble envisioning what the board would look like, so I've got this little setup where I've sort of sectioned off the other parts of it, and this is sort of what I'm going for. I think, I was having trouble with the measurements and if I would have enough material, but it definitely looks like I do because there's a lot of material left under this MDF. We might be able to make two boards, I'm not sure, but definitely one. And this is sort of the size and design I'm going for. So yeah, now I've just got to work out how to cut it and all that. Alright, I've created this little 45-degree jig, which should give us close to perfect 45-degree angles for our cut, which is crucial for this board. So let's try it out. The 45-degree angle cutter isn't the best. I'm gonna have to be honest. It slides a lot on it. When I hold it back, it slides. So as you can see, it's giving me a nice black edge. But that's alright. It's alright. And then right at the end, it pushed it off. Let's see what the angle's like. You live and you learn. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. We've got to clamp it half a board at a time, and because it's on 45 degrees angles, we've got to get it from all four sides as well, so it doesn't slip and slide around. It's a real nuisance. Any hoosle doosle? Let's get into it. Okay, that looks good. Now we leave it and hope that it works. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our two halves here, and you'll notice that when we put them together, there's a nice big gap there in between the two boards. Even on the other side, there's still a small gap. If you look closely, you can see along here, because they're both not perfectly straight. Now, because I don't have a jointer, what I'm going to do is clamp my level down run the plate of my circular saw along with the level, and that will transfer the perfectly straight edge from the level to the board. And then once I do it on both boards, when I put them together, there should be no gap at all. And then when I glue them up, they'll be nice and taut like a tiger. Right? Let's go. Okay, so as you can see, I've clearly failed because the join is worse than it was before. So I'm going to try a different method. So what this new method involves is me pushing the level through with the board at the same time rather than just pushing it across the fence. Supposed to do something apparently. Alright, well, as you can see, that method works 10 times better because there is almost no gap in between these two boards. Look at that. Virtually nothing there. Very good.
Now, as you can see, I got my hands on a thickness planer, which is a wonderful, wonderful tool. Makes life much, much easier. And that's what I'm using to flatten this board. It would have been nice to have it earlier in the project, but you can't win them all. Anyway, we've got it now. And I had to send this board through quite a lot of times, which did take a lot of the thickness off and left it quite thin. However, I was pretty happy with the end result still. It still looks quite nice.
Right, so I've finished the board now. I actually finished it a while ago, but I'm now only filming the outro for this video. And I'm really happy with how the board's finished. It's quite nice, it's really flat. It is, however, rather thin, but to be honest, I'm alright with that. It makes it a nice lightweight chopping board to be used. Would I do this board again? No. Did I learn a lot of things from it? Yes, I think I did. I've now also got some new tools that would have made it a fair bit easier. For example, you can see the thickness sitting right here. I did use that part way through the board, but had I had it at the start of making it, would have made it a lot safer to take the little grooves off the bottom of the floorboards. I've also got a drop saw now as well, which would have made it easier to cut the 45s. But one thing that was really hard about this board was clamping it all up, because as you can see, it's on that 45-degree angle, which posed quite a difficulty for me. I had to do this board in 2 glue ups, but now I've got band clamps that could have wrapped around the whole thing. It still probably would have been quite difficult, but it would have been a lot easier, I think. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really happy with the board. Would I do it again? No. Not in a while. Was it a good learning experience? Yes, it was. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.